Hey, good morning, everyone. It's good to see everyone here. So, yeah, for those who haven't done this before, this is just an opportunity to connect and see what's coming up. If you're doing the 7 day sadhana, I'd love to hear what's happening in people's practice. If there's anything you want to share or maybe questions coming up in the practice, anything. And sometimes we don't even know, there might just be an impulse to connect. Sometimes the question can just lead to, a sort of self inquiry live in the moment. So, yeah, just invite whatever's alive in this collective field here to come up and let's see what happens. Yeah, Ruben. Hi, Ruben. Just get you to unmute there. Here we go.
Second.
How are you?
Excellent. Good morning.
Morning.
Ruben was born in El Paso, Texas, and he was born into the Catholic religion. And Ruben, ever since he was very, since he can remember, always knew that the universe was very large. And in the Catholic religion, they teach that there's one creator. And I was like, absolutely, there's one creator. And then the Catholic religion starts saying, but this is right and this is wrong. So Ruben was one of these kids that would question the priest left, right, all over the place. And the priest got pretty tired of him and said, you know what, just take it on faith because I don't have the answer to your questions.
Mm-hmm.
So Ruben started to dabble in uh, Buddhism, Hinduism, all these different belief systems all over the country. And yet, uh, nothing fit because he always had this feeling of the one creator being the entire universe. And it's very massive. It's unbelievable. He couldn't put it into words. So there's so many questions that I have. I'm trying to fit the entire earth in through a straw by using words here. First off, so many things I want to say. Your fourth video, I keep watching it over and go, there's levels to that video. It is absolutely incredible. It is, I think you're over close to 500,000 views, and I think it's about to go viral. I think so. It is just, I've seen all your videos, but this one really hits home.
Awesome.
It's like, so I wonder if the Dan character watches it because it seems that the source spoke through Dan to get this across. And I wonder what the Dan character thinks about it. That's my first question.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if there's many thoughts about it. Honestly, with these films, it is what it feels like is, and I think this is the case with all creativity, like it's sort of mysterious where it comes from, like music or poetry, it's like we just make ourselves kind of available, as instruments. That's how I see it. The best music and the best stuff that comes through, we make ourselves available as an instrument, and then there's like an energy that takes over. So on this last film, the energy that came was really strong. Like it literally just took me for a ride for months, and took over. And then it was like riding a wave, and then it ended. And it was like, okay, that was an awesome ride. And
Oh,
and honestly, I haven't even gone back and watched it since then.
oh,
I've been
you gotta
just I've
you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. And I think I've watched it over 10 times already. And every single time I watch it, it has layers to it.
yeah.
There's layers to this film. It is it's like I watch it again and I get something new and it keeps going deeper and deeper. I was like, if somebody were to watch this 10 times, they would get it. They would get it. They would get it. Everything's in there. And it's
Awesome.
just unbelievable. So
Hmm.
one question you say about practice, like how's your practice? And it's like our life is our practice. Every single one of us, our life is our practice.
Yeah.
And it's like it's been 3 months now that I've done the 7 day retreat, and I loved it with all my heart. But at the same time, everything around me, Ruben's wife thought that he had left her because he was gone. He was gone, and she felt very abandoned, and I recognize that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Ruben's wife is a loving person, and yet there's every single human has an ego because then they can't be human, I guess. It's like that's the ticket, the price of the ticket for
Mhm.
admission. And so this this ego that we have to, I guess it's it's like a character in a movie. You have to be a character to be in the movie. So this is the movie that we play. And back and forth we can go from the movie to the stillness of all that is. And that's the 7 day retreat that is wonderful. But we can't completely live there all the time. So we go back and forth. And I think about these, there must be several humans that live in a cave and are in Samadhi. I think that's what you call it, all the time. And we don't know about them. They're just gone. They're just there. And so I love being there, but at the same time, it's kind of like being me, but knowing that I'm in the movie and just playing it and just going with it and just balancing the two back and forth as you go. I was looking at I believe that Dan character is in Canada. It's 11 degrees over there. And Ruben does not like the cold, but he's waiting for warmer weather.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Go
the,
ahead. Go ahead.
the,
Yeah.
the balance between the character and the all that is all, the we that is we, the we that is one. Because you asked several times, are you Ruben? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I'm Ruben, but I'm Dan, and I'm the planet, and I'm the sun, and I'm the. It's like as soon as I say something, it's the silent allness that is all. Does that make sense? I don't.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, there's a few things I picked up. So, one is, yeah, like that's that insight, that life is it now, all our relationships, everything is a deepening now, the glimpse that we get in the retreat, of who and what we are. It's like, we might have a samadhi experience, which is, a peak, beautiful knowing in that moment. But then, the deepening is that our baseline of samadhi starts to get higher in life, So we start to have more and more direct knowing, living from that place of our truth. And so to me, that's the most important thing when we start to see that it's not about transcending the world. Actually, the world is the place where we can deepen this insight. So I can live, I can demonstrate, actualize that knowing of who and what I am, in every facet. And so these, whatever situations come up, these vasanas that come up, like, things happen, I have to pay taxes, my car breaks down, I have a family reunion, whatever it is that's happening, these situations will bring up hidden shadows, and that's where we deepen our practice. Then it's like, when I see that the character, there's still something operating in the character, and I thought might be hiding out in some of those shadows, then we, just by seeing it, there's a natural release. It's only when those patterns are unconscious that they have that hold on us. So yeah, for me, that's the deepening. And you mentioned the Catholic thing. Yeah, for me, like, you mentioned one word about faith. About the they told you to take it on faith, and I never understood that word faith. I had real trouble with that. Because I thought they want me to believe something. It's like I have to take it on faith. It's just a concept, a thought. But now there's been a deepening of, to me, what true faith is something much deeper than just concept and thought. There's something that is drawing us on this path. There's something that drew you to the 7-day retreat, that's drawing you into this investigation in life. And it's something mysterious. It's alive. But to me, I trust that, whatever that is, and to me, that's the faith. And it's somehow connected to a humbling of that character, a humbling of that mind. Like in Zen, they have that beautiful teaching, the faith mind poem, or it's sometimes called the Great Way, or the beginner's mind poem. And to me, that's it. Like that beginner's mind, the don't know mind. It's like we get that knowing mind out of the way, and we can feel that current. We trust that current is unfolding life in a way that is, it's awesome. It's better than what that little character can do by its resisting and its grasping. So for me, that's what comes up in my, full circle, coming back to the Catholic religion. Now I see the mystics were pointing to that. But yeah, it got missed in my childhood as well, for sure. Yeah.
Well, you said the word trust twice right now. And for
Mm-hmm.
me, that word faith has transformed from the word faith to the word trust. And in
Mm-hmm.
the meditations, that's what it's about to me in this silence of the allness. It's like letting go and trusting that it knows what it's doing. It's doing me. It's living me. Life is living me. I'm not doing anything. I'm not pumping my blood. I'm not digesting my food. I'm not doing any of that. But life is doing that. And life is rotating the planet around the sun, and the sun around the galaxy, and the galaxy around all these galaxies, and the birds, and the everything. Life is doing 99.9999% of life, and
Yeah.
we're just observing it. And I also realized that there was this conversation that I heard about, in the Bible. It says only a man and a woman should be married, and I was like, I don't want to get into the politics of religion, but what I found interesting was this this belief that the ego needs to be right. And I was like, why does the ego need to be right? And I'm like, that's like a byproduct of this duality. Like without duality, you wouldn't be able to see hot or cold, up or down, left or right. So duality is kind of like the illusion, because in that, what you're saying, that meditation, that's why I love meditation so much. It's in the non-duality of everything that is. I'm very curious as to what Dan's opinion is of his own video that he created. So if he were to be kind enough to watch it, and then next week I want to hear his input on it, because it is absolutely just, it's just levels to it. And I
Yeah.
just want to thank you for that. I just want to thank you for that. I have a ton of questions in the back of my mind, but I'll let go for right now,
Okay.
and go from here. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Dan. I
Yeah.
appreciate everything you've done for this
Mm-hmm.
planet.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Ruben. Thank you. Sveta. Hi, Sveta.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Today probably Sveta's character is gonna talk. Character is online. I'm still wobbling from emptiness into the character. And I wanted to ask you about some characters' experience on a body-mind level during meditation included. So uh, when I actually for last couple of weeks wake up with your Samadhi meditations and do one during a day, and at some point, even before. Probably you noticed I often I'm not sitting, I half laying down because even when I entered 7-day retreat, I had very high blood pressure, like 180 to 120, and I had all checks. Everything is fine. So it's something in my head.
Mm.
And it was always easier for me to lay down because I feel like I can just uh, collapse, basically. So, and since I was half lying down during meditations, at some point there is some feels like electrical current probably goes, and sometimes I feel the resistance towards it, and sometimes it just passes by itself, and then everything becomes very clear. It literally feels like a veil falls down. I can hear every little bit of the sound. I can feel every little sensation, every little smell. And there is some kind of openness to everything. Is it a mind trick?
Yeah, no, well, yes and no, I guess. So, yeah, so that's a common phenomena, is when, we have these energetic movements. And so when you describe so did you, when you feel that energy, what is the location of the movement? Like, do you feel it moving up the spine? Do you feel it just sort of everywhere, or
Randomly, just
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I think it's different for everyone. Some people will actually have that movement of energy, but they don't feel it even somatically for some reason, and I'm not sure why that is. It's just differences in different people. Some people will feel it as energy moving up the spine, the chakras. They can feel, the third eye and all that. It doesn't matter. But the fact that you feel, usually what's accompanied with that energy is a feeling of an awakening or becoming more present or becoming clear. It's just a clarity. It's like an opening of the senses. So that is a byproduct of meditation. That's in Buddhism, the jhanas, they have the different stages of meditative absorption. The yogic tradition, they call it dhyana. So all those stages are sort of energetic events where part of the mind has gone quieter, and so when the mind body starts to go quieter, the energy becomes free of that old pattern then. So it's felt there's like a clearing then of that. And then so it's, the way I look at it, it's like, the patterns of the body mind are like the clouds in the sky. There's phenomena. So it's like the sky has become more clear. So so it's a usually a temporary clearing, and but it's a sign that the meditation is doing its thing. It's a normal sort of phenomena in meditation. So for me, the important thing is, it's like that analogy with the sky and the clouds. The recognition that we have in that moment, in that clearing, everything is just clear. We're just present. So you could say, in that analogy, we're resting as the sky. We're just clear. So when the clouds come back, when the mind comes back, the question is, can you still recognize that sky that is here now. You know, just because the clouds are back doesn't mean the sky isn't the sky. You know, so the attention of the mind usually goes onto the clouds and the phenomena. You know, but if we can still rest open as that clear presence, you know, then the phenomena can come and go. You know, energy can come and go. So the beauty of the practice is we get the glimpse. You know, the mind, the clouds are gone for a while. We get a sense of this consciousness that's always here. You know, and then the deepening is to recognize that it's always here. You know, whenever you look for it, you know, is it ever not here?
And another question, probably connected, probably not, I don't know. I don't know, maybe I asked that question, but it's still bugging me probably. So sometimes when I drive, I love Tibetan mantras. I listen to them, and I even can think about something. But few times it happens so that something, even through my thinking, something clicks and a lot of panic comes up, and there is fear that I don't control anything. And I'm driving Land Rover Defender, and I feel quite safe in this little box. But it feels like, especially if it's on a highway, it feels like I need to stop because I uh, mm, can't drive the car. I can't control car. I can't control myself. There is like a little thread that if I will let it go, there is no way back. I don't
Yeah,
know how to
yeah,
describe it.
yeah.
It's like a step over through the gateless gate that my mind is trying to control.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was in meditation, probably I could deal with this fear. But when I'm driving 100
Yeah.
miles an hour and this comes, it's a little bit frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So I would say, you know, if Tibetan mantras are bringing that up for you, maybe, maybe listen to some, you know, pop music or something like for driving, you know, if like, so what's happening there, it sounds like it's the same phenomena that's coming up in the meditation. You know, in meditation language, like the kriyas are when that energy becomes fully strong, and you know, it can literally move you into a surrender where the body is just, you know, moved, like spontaneous yoga postures, all of that can unfold from that energy. So so that fear, when you're driving, that fear is it's a survival fear. You don't want that happening. You don't want to be doing kriyas when you're driving. So maybe, you know, that's not the time to be you know, allowing that to unfold. Obviously, it's you know, so, but something to explore in your practice for sure. So there can be, you know, fears that are, you know, they're for the relative world, they're important. You know, like the fear of, you know, putting your hand on a hot burner, or you know, things like that, to protect the body mind. So to me, that isn't, you know, something that we necessarily want to try and engage with, and you know, in a driving situation. So, you know, but that fear, when it comes up in our practice, or when we're in a situation where we can actually kind of surrender, you know, what happens when I completely let go of trying to control that energy, just allow it to come up. You know, usually there's a step in you know, the meditation practice where, you know, it feels like that energy can be moving us. You know, it's like we really surrender to it. Sometimes people's bodies will start moving like a spiral, or different things, and that energy kind of takes over, and it's the energy is not going into the conditioned character anymore. And it's in those moments that self-inquiry is really powerful. So if we just let that energy go, people can be doing those kriyas forever, and that's a form of practice. But when we inquire in those moments, if that energy is really strong, who is moving the body in that moment? Does it feel like me, like I'm doing something, or does it feel like something external? And when I really go into it, usually what happens is that energy will become integrated. At some point, it'll feel, it might start out like that energy is moving my body, but then at a certain point, it's like, wait a minute, my mind is kind of engaged with this. It feels like I'm kind of doing something now, and eventually that energy will integrate. And if we really inquire deeply, usually those kriyas and that energy will just become integrated, and that phase will pass in the meditation. Then once there's sort of a rewiring that's happened, so that energy movement phase is one of the stages in practice. So I would say, when those energies come up, maybe not in the car, but in the practice, it's self-inquiry is the key in those moments. To see who is moving. The energy can start to breathe the body in a different way. So who's breathing? Who's breathing the body? And it's a very powerful integration when we do that.
Funny enough, the most powerful moments that I had was during driving, but I will try to avoid next time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this problem that I have is probably for 2 years now with my blood pressure. So I had all the checks. Everything is fine, heart is fine, everything is fine. And the only medication I decided to take is magnesium.
Okay.
I call it medication. And actually, no medication helped me from this blood pressure, only meditations. But I have a feeling that this is some type of resistance,
Yeah.
probably in front of some kind of fear.
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually a common thing. So at our retreats, we've had people who their blood sugar, sometimes we'll test people, and we've worked with different things at the live retreats as well. So we've actually worked with plant medicines and different things that can have an effect on blood sugar. So or blood pressure, and so we actually did blood pressure testing for some of the participants as well. And it does happen sometimes in meditation. What seems like what's happening is, it's like we start to touch deeper layers, and there can be a resistance pattern or a fear that starts to come up, and the blood pressure can rise in those situations. So yeah, to me, there's a sort of middle way of working with that to, start to touch those places, not in a way that's where your whole mind body is going to go into an overwhelm, but to do it sort of gradually. And we actually worked with something called iboga, which is a plant medicine, which has a very, it sort of helps to open the veil to these different levels. And so opening that veil, but it actually has a property where it has a lowering effect on your blood pressure as well. So we actually had some participants who moved through patterns like that at the retreats, just working microdosing with iboga as well. So there different things like that might show up on your path, or if you're, magnesium, whatever works, you know. So, but yeah, to me, when there is a pattern like that, it's probably just a very, a deep fear pattern, a deep samskara. So, we don't want to, brutalize or overwhelm the body by just, going at it, really too deeply. But at the same time, a gradual approach is, usually the middle way is always where I end up with these things. Yeah. So,
I have a feeling that with this fear, it's probably connected also to grasping, I don't remember the names, but fifth skanda, to the fear to lose control of this one who's watching.
the witness. Yeah.
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 Have you witnessed sometimes that people had some no, looks like medical, but basically non-medical problems, and after some breakthrough, it was gone?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like myself, actually, I had a whole mind body pattern of illness and sickness. So that, yeah, at one point in my journey, it cleared, and no more symptoms. So yeah, I think when that those energy pathways clear in the body, sometimes there can be something in the mind body connection that will clear with it. So yeah, and it's mysterious. Like, not always. It's not always the case as well. Sometimes my feeling is like sometimes we get illnesses or these patterns. They can still be teaching us in different ways. So I've seen people who go into retreats and they're like, I'm going to clear this cancer or clear this whatever it is, and sometimes a mind body pattern will shift, and sometimes it won't. Sometimes there's a it's mysterious how it works. So, but I've seen situations, even in our retreats where, huge patterns of, things that are supposedly not shiftable in Western medicine can shift. I've seen someone with Parkinson's disease who, is on like permanent medication. I've seen a shift where he was running around, like jumping like a little kid, and stuff like that, which we can't explain rationally. Somehow, the energies, when they become free, I think anything is possible. But I think from what I've seen, it's like we just have to accept. We kind of get ourselves out of the way, and it's not my will, but life's will or God's will, however you want to say it. So
Yeah, thank you. We'll see where it takes me.
yeah, thank you. Go to Natalie. Hi, Natalie. Get you to, there you go.
Thank you for holding this container for all of us. It's been really beautiful, and really appreciate you and your team doing this.
Thank you.
When you were talking about the Savikalpa Samadhi, that was my first time hearing of two different sort of, I guess, categories. I know that's not, language is weird, but
Yeah.
as you were describing that, I really resonated with my own experience from a young age, experiencing that energy moving through my spine and awakening me to kind of drop those layers so that I could just be in that awareness. I've had several experiences with plant medicines as a facilitator and receiving as well, where I've kind of gone back to that state and sort of oscillated back and forth. And each time that I've gone to that place or dropped myself so I could just rest in that place, I sort of come back into my human self with this new sense of purpose of this is what I'm meant to be doing, and I'm here to do this thing to serve the planet. And I went on this retreat with Elizabeth Gilbert, and she was talking about purpose anxiety and this idea that we put so much pressure on like fulfilling our legacy and our purpose. And like, what if that is kind of just another construct of the self? And it really broke me because I had been building
Wow.
this whole identity around being a plant medicine facilitator, and then I'd found my purpose in life. And so I'm curious, and I guess I'm asking you as Dan, and I'm also asking the awareness, the soul, whatever you want to call it, since you are able to sort of be in that awareness and hold this container, which I would imagine in some sense of the word, this is you like fulfilling your dharma or your purpose. So I guess my question is like, do you have any tips for balancing that being in the awareness, but also still contributing to like the evolution and like leaving, contributing something positive to the world without getting attached to it?
Hmm. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I love what your teacher, what she said about you know she burst that idea of purpose, because for me, so I actually I was just on a podcast this morning, and the interviewer asked me the same question about purpose, or do I have some kind of life mission? And I have this website, Awaken the World, and it seems like there's a purpose. Like, I got to awaken the world. That's my mission, my purpose. And yeah, but to me, there's that insight, like when we look at like what is a purpose, it's like if I believe I have a purpose, it's an idea, it's a concept, it's something that I've learned and that I'm holding in the mind, and so and it's something that has to happen in the future. It's like I achieve my purpose, it's like I'm going for it, and so the mind loves to have a purpose, that because that keeps the ideas alive. It keeps that mind momentum alive. So for me, a don't know mind is, a not knowing mind is the gateway into this moment, into the aliveness that is just here in this moment. And so that, for me, that life energy, it has its own purpose. It has, it has a direction. It seems like, if I look back at my life, I see when I've actually surrendered to not knowing, this is the paradox. I've surrendered to that energy and the not knowing. And I look back and I see, wow, it seems like there's a beautiful poetry to that unfolding, these synchronicities and connections and all of that. So I see I can see there's a sense of something happening, but yet the gateway into that, into living that, is to humble the mind and enter this space of not knowing, and kind of surf that energy and ride that energy. It is a total paradox. So, like, something like a film, will, it seems like, from the little self's point of view, it's like you get pregnant with this energy, or you start to ride it, and it seems like the mind could say, oh, that's my purpose, to deliver that film. But yet the actualization of that is to just be in it moment to moment. So it's a funny thing. It's like, if it's like when you're playing music, if you're thinking about the music, trying to deliver the ultimate performance, and that's what this is. It's like, how do I optimize life? This is deliver the ultimate optimization of life, or the perfect life performance. The mind, if the mind is trying to do that in a musical experience, there's a contraction in the actual playing of it, then you lose it. If the mind is thinking about the notes and how to deliver, the music, then it's like you're not being the music. You're not in it. So yeah. So for me, it's the dropping of the knowing, the knower, and um, that analytical sort of mind that is evaluating. It's sort of evaluating our life. It's saying, this looks like progress, and this is what I should be doing. But if we drop that evaluator, that's when what's unknown, the big picture, the big mind has way bigger plans. We just don't know what that is, but we get glimpses of it. But
the instrument analogy just made me think of I've had a shaman refer to working with the medicine as like being an instrument, as if the medicine itself kind of enters in and plays you. And I wonder if maybe it's a similar thing where like the creative life force is sort of playing us as the instrument so that we can use our senses and our body to fulfill that creative urge that it has, maybe.
yeah, I love that. And I've seen, plant medicine shamans, literally embody that in the journey, where the Icaros will start to come through them, so they literally make themselves into an instrument, and, with sound and vibration. I think it's a perfect analogy. And a lot of my favorite, Sufi teachers like, Rumi and Ibn Arabi, they talk about being played like a flute, like the energy of life, playing you. And yeah, I love that. I think that's closer to the truth of, what this path leads to is, there's still a sense of, of totally being in it, totally being, it's not like, my sense of I is like somewhere else, it's, to me, the Samadhi experience is when, that sense of I and the life energy actually are just one. I can't separate that anymore. There's a sense of just happeningness to it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Julie. Hi, Julie.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to share something. Um, it's like I feel like something sort of big happened for me on my path, and yet it's like nothing happened. So I'll try to explain. Um, like I've been really dedicating myself to my liberation, which is sort of funny to me now. And I've been reading like everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the point where everything started sounding the same, like every Gita or what, like I just this all everything's saying the same. So it's like kind of like I ran out. Like I want to say I did something, but I didn't do anything. Like I just ran out of something, and I just decided, well, that I have like the concepts just sort of dropped or something. And I went just inward and I decided to just do what I wanted. Like, stop with the, like, I just had all these concepts. I'm sure I still do, but it was like, well, I'm supposed to be God. I'm supposed to be the universe. I'm supposed to be, and I just decided, well, screw it. I'm going to be me.
Awesome.
And if it's dual, cool. Like,
Mm.
because I'm really enjoying, like, I mean, I'm connected to everything, of course, there's one thing, but I had this concept that I was supposed to be something that I'm not. Like I feel like I'm not God, I'm just part of everything. Like so realized who I am is like already liberated. Like, or not even that. It's kind of like there was never a bound person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
it.
so I like looking around, like, where was the path?
Yeah,
Like, and it's kind of like the big joke's on me, right?
that's awesome. Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Like there's nothing to do.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and you said something beautiful about duality. Then you said like even that is it's a concept. Like that evaluating mind. That says this is dual, this is non-dual. All of that. It's still there's still like that's it's all the mediator. Still playing its game. So when everything there's no more labeling, no more this is spiritual, this is not spiritual, all of that, and that's it. Yeah, I love that. I don't know if you've come across Avnirya's book
Yeah.
Beyond
Yeah.
Shiva, but he said
Oh, how
even
about this one?
yeah. Oh, that's yeah. Incredible, incredible. Yeah, and that's it. What you said is, that's the realization. The cosmic joke is that what I truly am, what you truly are, was never bound in the first place. So then, all of these labels, all of these things, like even our sadhana, we can be free. We can just be absolutely radically free of all of the evaluation and the shoulds and life needs to be a certain way. Like then, yeah, you're just free to be you. Like, and what is that? We don't know. Like, how does life want to show up? And that's it. And we don't label it. We don't need to label it. We don't need to evaluate it or judge it. And yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
There's a Zen teacher who I forget who it is now, but they talked about that insight, like what you put your finger on, or what's sort of unfolded for you, and they describe it as it's like the bottom falls out of your bucket. And I love that analogy. It's like we're holding all these concepts and knowings and all the whatever it is that the mind is doing, and we sometimes we don't even know we're holding the bucket, but there is a dropping out of the bottom of the bucket, and yeah, it just happens when it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, Michael.
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Michael.
Hi. Well, thank you. I'm doing the 7-day retreat,
Yes. Yeah, I
and
recognize you from the dyads. Yeah.
from Dias, yeah. And yeah, I love the synchronicity in where I am in what's unfolding, and yeah, thank you so much for putting this together. So it's available for me in this journey more into the depth of what wants to unfold, and um, I'm inspired also by the recordings I'm viewing, and unfortunately, I notice that I have to really see this image of me polishing this tile again and again, like wanting to make it a mirror. A lot of my practicing years have been really trying to create this mirror from this tile. And I notice something is falling through this. And for a longer period, I'm quite inspired by this I amness, this just focus on I am and deny everything else, like Nisargadatta is mentioning. And I'm wondering, especially with the diets, to have this sharing with another human being and really seeing how everything is like unfolding, and it's like so clear. And then after that, seeing how this little I wants to come in or comes in. And it's like you have this beautiful picture of this face with this flipping, and I start to see this flipping, and then I'm wondering, and that's a question I have for you, is I notice this I amness. It has like a sensation of peace or aliveness, and then also have the impression, well, I think that's still this vijnana, this watching physical sensation. And I hear you speak about this like existence aliveness. So I'm what that's always there. So even when you're now speaking and when you're listening to me, that's always there. So does that have then some kind of flavor for you? Is it in the foreground? Is it like ever presence also in to use it like some kind of anchor?
Hmm. Yeah, good question. Good question. So, yeah, so what I would say is like in that practice, that coming to stillness, that witnessing, that's an important. There's a real peace in that, So we come to that witnessing first, and then that what awakens in that space then, that awareness that is here. It's this awareness that is here. Sometimes it could be described as one taste. There's one quality to everything that is arising in this moment. So, what is that? We can't say what that is, but that coming to, the witness is the place where it becomes more and more clear. There's just a clarity that, and the clarity itself is it. It's the clarity of presence, the clarity of being, the clarity of, the energy that's arising in this moment. The as the Dzogchen folks say, it's the luminosity of Maya itself becomes apparent, which is, it's not separate from, what is. It's not separate from awareness, that's here now.
So do you experience a flavor in that then, like something that you like sense? Or is that what you mentioned? It's like this existence.
Yeah, so I would say, if you're speaking about a quality, then no, it's not something that could be described or pointed at, pointing a finger, but yet it's not nothing. It's there. It is the you could say the luminosity of consciousness itself is the flavor, or the presence, that is, if I'm looking at you, or I'm looking at a tree, or I'm, the aliveness of the computer screen, whatever it is, there's a sense of presence and alive energy to it. And so, so either attention is going to the conditioned mind on thoughts, and when we're, when the attention is on thoughts, it's more dead, it's not alive. It's like, it's just like a dream almost. It's like a kind of like a dead dream, that's unfolding. And, but when that attention just kind of opens, into the spaciousness of here, it just sort of relaxes open. And then this presence is here. There is whatever it is, there's a quality to it, an aliveness, an awakeness to that. So, yeah, so I would say, it's not like a flavor in any normal sense of that word, but yet there is a one taste that, all the teachers are pointing towards. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. I'll go back. Ruben again. Hi, Ruben.
Hello. It's amazing. I'm full of appreciation. Natalie, Julie, Sveta, everyone who shared. It's all tying together. Every single thing is tying together. And language seems to be the creator of the illusion of separateness. And what Sveta was saying about the car, uh, life is living 99.999% of me. I'm not doing it. Ruben is not doing anything. And yet you say, is Ruben also you? And I'm like, yes, but it's also Dan, it's also Steva, it's also Natalie. Natalie was talking about the plant medicine and how this was something that life was living her and being this plant medicine uh, teacher perfectly for however much time it needed that to be. And then life might say, okay, Natalie, now I want you to be a flight attendant or a dishwasher or whatever. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter. It's like life is doing all of us. And it's just mind blowing. Now, I wanted to say, like last week, you said relationships are because you feel there's something missing. And I thought, what? That really stuck with me. And I'm like, is relationship just nothing more than the self having a relationship with itself?
Mhm.
Is that what it is?
Well, yeah. So if there's a relationship, there has to be two, right? So there's a separation, you know. So in a like in a the most direct samadhi experience, I am that, I am whatever is arising. We can have that direct experience of whatever it is that's arising. So if there's a relationship, there's a separation, so all separation, all relationships, to me, they're the way back to, union. So if I have a partner, if I have, a family, if I feel that there's a separation, then it's showing me where my conditioning is still active. And that's beautiful. It's a mirror.
Yeah.
It's the most powerful mirror is a relationship. Just the fact that there is a mirror, the fact that there is, it seems separate, right? So to me, that's where we investigate, and it's in that investigation we come back to the truth that there actually are no relationships. It's all the one. So we know that. We hear the teachers saying that intellectually, right? But unless we're, in the samadhi state, we don't have that direct knowing, the direct experience. So that, to me, that's what this is all about. It's the stripping away of the I thought in all of its forms. Seeing the shadows, where it's creating that separation, and then when we just see it, it's not mediating as much. Eventually it will drop away.
So there's nothing to do. Just let life live me. Let life do its thing. And
Yeah,
as Julie said, it doesn't matter. You just have fun. I love that
yeah,
analogy about the bucket dropping off. It's like, okay, then just be
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's
Be
it's
whatever.
it's so simple. Like the ego,
Yeah.
is just all it is a pattern of resistance.
Yeah.
It's on all these deep levels of mind. These
Yeah.
little resistance patterns are there. So they come up to the surface to be seen, released, but
Yeah.
there's nothing to do because more doing, it's not, if you're doing anything about that, that's just more resistance.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the controller doing something. So literally nothing to do about that except see it and yeah, just notice the little
Because
contractions or whatever. Let them be as they
yeah.
are. and they
As
self-liberating.
as you said last week, it's stupidly simple.
Stupidly simple. Yeah. Yeah. It's the whole, if you get yourself out of the way, then this whole thing, whatever it is we are in this avatar, it's self-liberating. It'll liberate
Yeah,
itself if we just
there's
stop.
nothing to do.
Just stop. Yeah, just stop the messing with it and stop the controlling and the evaluating, all of it, and just allow it to be exactly as it is. Yeah, and just see it. Seeing it is the allowing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruben. Yeah. See if anything else is alive in the field, and if not, we'll let this. Oh yeah, Praveen. Yeah, there.
Hi,
Hello.
Namaskaram.
Yeah.
I would like to know about when the next DMT retreat is you have.
The next which? Sorry.
DMT retreat or any plant medicine retreat.
Oh, plant medicine retreat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not doing physical retreats right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're just doing the online. So we did plant medicine retreats for a number of years at the Samadhi Center, but now we're really focused on online, and I found like the core of the practice really. We're logistically we are not working with plant medicines for people online, but I know someone who is. I can share that information with you if you're drawn to that. There's someone who's doing amazing work with plant medicines and meditation, using it as a sort of meditation tool. So yeah, I can connect you with his information if you.
Yeah, if you can connect me, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Do you maybe if you email contact at awakentheworld.com, I'll just
Okay.
respond to that. That'd be great. But
Okay.
yeah, we found the plant medicines are amazing for just sort of accelerating that sort of clearing process that happens, and we combined it in those retreats for years. It's very powerful. I see it as an accelerated practice, just like the doing these self-inquiry dyads are an accelerated practice, much faster than meditation. So for people who are really ready, it's very, very powerful. But also, there's there's a blessing and a curse with all of that as well, because they can produce very powerful experiences, beautiful experiences. So I would say the challenge is when we use those plant medicines is don't get attached to any state or any experience, because that's always temporary, but always inquire into who is the one who is the knower of those states, who is the one that doesn't come and go, and they can be beautiful openings to see that one, to inquire in those moments. So there's just a little bit of advice, in exploring that. So,
Okay.
mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Oh yeah, there's a question here. Yeah, the name of the plant medicine that helps for the blood pressure is called iboga. It's IBOGA, iboga. It comes from Africa, from the jungle, and yeah, it's a beautiful plant medicine. Natalie.
Just a quick human mundane question. I'm sure other people can relate. My legs tend to fall asleep a lot in meditation posture. Is there a specific posture that can help with that? I know like elevating the hips, but I've tried a few different variations and it's just been very distracting to my practice. So I was curious if you had any recommendations.
Yeah. When it comes to those human things, my philosophy is sort of whatever works. So so at the retreats, we would sometimes we have those little meditation benches. They work for some people. So you kind of tuck your legs under the bench. So that can help. Experimenting with different cushions and sitting on a chair. There's no shame in sitting on a chair. There's nothing wrong with that. And also there can be value in just allowing it to be as it is as well. So you know, I've heard a lot of people say, and this happened to me as well. I had an issue with legs falling asleep. And I ended up at a Zen sesshin where they just don't let you move, you know? So I just didn't move. And whatever it was, whatever that pattern was, cleared. It just completely cleared. So that can happen as well. So, you know, it's not comfortable when the legs fall asleep, but I've never heard anyone, you know, have permanent problems with it. It's not like you're not going to get gangrene and have your legs amputated as a result of it. So you can maybe find a middle way with that to just allow it, but also, yeah, whatever works to find the optimal posture as well. Sometimes you might find there is a perfect sort of alignment sitting on a meditation bench, and energy will just be more free-flowing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Well, it seems like it is that time where everything is settled. Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for sharing, everyone. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I love what Ruben said about, you know, it seems like when we engage in this way as a group, it really feels like, you know, one organism, you know, moving through this sadhana together. It's like whatever one person says is not just for them, but for others as well. So, yeah, I love the feeling of that connection and synchronicity, and feels like there's an intelligence that is larger than all of us individually here. So, yeah. So thanks everyone, and we'll see you in the dyads or next week whenever you're back, or in the meditations.